I'm James from MoveData. In this example, I'm going to show you how to inherit information from one record onto another. So here we have a profile created for Nancy Nunez. You can see here we've created a couple of records, obviously the contact and the campaign representing the fundraiser. It's nested underneath the parent campaign. So here's our fundraiser record and here is our parent campaign. So in this example, what we've got here is a field called campaign code, and we want to be able to set this on the parent campaign, and we want it to inherit onto all of the child records underneath. So what I'm going to do is go and allocate a campaign code 001, and we want to make some changes so that Nancy Nunez and any other campaigns underneath it will always inherit that campaign code. So what we want to do is go to setup, and we want to go to flows. And we don't already have a campaign flow, so we'll have to create a new one. So we will use auto launched and auto layout. We're working with campaigns, so let's add that in. Okay, and now what we want to do is we want to create a decision, because we're going to want to do three things. We're going to want to see if there's already an existing campaign code set on that record, in which case we won't want to do anything. If not, we want to check if the parent campaign has a campaign code on their record, and in that case we'll want to inherit it. And thirdly, we'll just have a default outcome for anything else, in which case we won't do anything. So I'm going to write this as determine campaign code. And the first outcome can be that it is existing. So in this case, campaign code is null false, i.e. there is some value. And the second outcome, we'll call this parent campaign. So does a campaign code sit on the parent campaign? And what we'll need to do here is we'll have to look up the parent campaign. So if we go into the notification and go into the execution logs, and if we find the campaign in question, so this one is working with the top level campaign, I can see. So if we go to the child campaign, which are all of these parameters, you'll see a value here called parent campaign. So let's copy that. And what we will do is go back to our flow and create a new resource. So it's a variable. The API name we're using exactly the same as this. So the variable is parent campaign. Data type is record campaign, and it's available for input. We want to do something with it. So we've got a variable now called parent campaign, and what that's going to allow us to do is use any of this data in our evaluation. So the logic here is we want to see if the value already exists on the parent campaign. So basically, parent campaign is null false, so we've got to have a parent campaign there in the first place. And then if we look up that parent campaign code also has to be present. So basically, we've got a check to see if the campaign code already exists on our child record, and then if it doesn't, it'll fire the second outcome. Is a parent campaign present, and does the parent campaign have a campaign code set? Otherwise, we'll just use our default outcome. So if we hit done, we've now got three branches. So if the campaign code exists on the record, we don't want to do anything. We'll just leave it there. If the campaign code exists on the parent campaign, well, we want to do an assignment here. So we go set campaign code from parent campaign. So we want to set it on the campaign and the campaign code. Where are you? This one equals the same value as the parent campaign, right? So equals parent campaign dot campaign code. Where are you? Cool. And if not, I mean, if neither of them fire, we could just skip, or we could add an assignment. We could say set general campaign code, and let's say we want to set that to 002, for instance. So we've got our flow set up. We're going to determine the campaign code. It can either be existing, i.e. already on the record, or there can be a parent which has a campaign code, or neither of these will fire and it's just a default outcome. Existing, we leave it be. Parent campaign, we're inheriting, and otherwise we're setting it as 002. So let's hit save. We will have to create this as a new flow, so I'll just copy this naming convention across. So this is campaign mapping. I'll copy that for later, the API name. And let's hit activate. Now, because we've created a brand new flow, what we'll have to do is we'll have to go to Object Manager, go to Campaigns, go to Field Sets, and create a new field set. Let's call it MoveData Campaign Field Set Extension. And it's used in this flow. I'm going to copy the API name as well because we need to use it in a second. So we've got our field set, and this has two of them. This is yep, that's the one. So I'm going to drag that into the field set and hit save. Okay, so our field set's done. And then the last thing we need to do, because this is a brand new flow, is we need to go to custom metadata. We need to go to MoveData pipeline setting, and we need to find the campaign field set and also the campaign mapping. So probably used to this by now if you've watched some of the earlier videos. What we're going to do is clone the field set, copy the field set API name, write that into the handler, change that from 001 to ext, and hit save. I'm also going to clone the flow, grab the flow API name, paste the flow API name into the handler, change that from 001 to ext, and change the sort order to 6 so it runs after all of the normal MoveData campaign stuff, and hit save. All right, so we've got our flow, we've got our metadata, we've got our field set, and we are all good to reprocess this notification back into Salesforce. Before I do that, I just want to check to see that I already added a value to the field. Okay, so 001. So our expectation is it's going to inherit 001 onto the child campaign. So let's click reprocess. Currently executing. Successful. So let's open up our parent campaign and our child campaign. Our parent campaign should stay the same, 001. And our child campaign has the campaign code 001. Just to round this out, if no campaign code was set on the parent, it wouldn't be existing, it wouldn't be on the parent, so it would run this default path, in which case it would be set to 002. So hopefully that's helpful, and it shows you how you can use MoveData, you can use Lightning flows to inherit information from one record onto the other.